What is going on, people of YouTube? My name has to be Kurtyoy, and today I've got a talkie video. First time I've done this in quite a while, but in an attempt to try and get more content out there because I've been really just lazy, to be honest. I've got a video coming out to tell you about that and how I plan to say sorry, but today I thought I'd talk to you about the Premier League, and as things stand, I'm hopefully uploading this on a Tuesday. It's not, looking too good for Spurs and their title hopes. A draw with West Brom at home, which no one saw coming. I mean, luckily I didn't bet on it. I wasted the money beforehand on in-play bets, and I don't know if they've came in or not. I hope they have. But I was going to bet on Tottenham to win, without conceding as well, and that didn't really end up well because I didn't even win in general. But, Tottenham, they're not winning the Premier League this season. It looks nailed on for Leicester to win the league, and if they win against Manchester United, I believe they have won the title, and credit to them. The first thing I could say is that I've been one to, constantly say they'll slip up here, they might slip up here, they might slip up here, but they have constantly, changed things up. They've constantly, played good football, and I think it's not to be underestimated anymore. I mean, if they would have slipped up, right at the end, Vardy not playing, Swansea nick a win, Man United nick a win, Everton have a good game, Lukaku maybe nicks a few goals and gets a win, the sort of flop at the end of the season, and you just think, well, everyone would have been, well, I knew this was going to happen, but in the end of the day, they've proved a lot of people wrong, and will this be start to be the remaining, the first team in quite some time to enter the top 6 and make it a top 7, because we've seen teams like Southampton, Everton on the fray, sometimes getting above Tottenham, to get 6th or 5th, and sometimes getting above Liverpool, or let's say for example Chelsea this season, and Man United are, under the Moyes era, and it's a strange one because they haven't got the money. They've given big contracts to big individuals in their team that have performed so well, like Vardy getting a new contract and those sort of players, but they've done it without spending the money. And I think you can look at it two ways. I'm looking at it as a well done. I think more of the same will be to come. Whether they get up the top next season, that's hard to tell at this moment. I mean, they were 5,000 to 1 to win, and it looks like they're going to win. Probably the biggest underdog upset story ever. This is David beating 7 or 8 Goliaths to get to the title. This is nothing. This is something to really look at and think, right, this has actually happened. We need to start recognising it. Then there'll be the people that will say, well, you look at the big 6, Chelsea had a very poor season, Liverpool had a very poor season, Man United had a very poor season, Arsenal a very poor season, Man City a very poor season, Spurs, a pretty good season. And you can look at that and think, well, yeah, they've had a poor season, but the individuals some of those teams have are enough to win them games. And I think it's the likes of the teamwork, and I think it shows that you can buy the league to an extent, but you can't buy the league, properly. It's something that it's always been iffy in my mind whether you can buy the league, because obviously, you've got the fact you can't just buy the 11 best players in the world and play the whole season with them, because if they've never played with each other, team cohesion is not going to be there. But one thing they have in Leicester is a very solid team that has rarely changed, rarely, ever, been different. And, when it has been different, you've got a team there. You've not got an individual to bring on. Like, you're not looking at a individual that, like Aguero or De Bruyne of City to bring on, like David Silva, for example, Yaya Toure. They are individual players that have an impact. This is a team effort. If someone in the team maybe isn't playing very well, they've got another member of the team that will come in and give their all for the club. They are not working for money. They're working for the club, and I think that is what the best thing about this whole thing is that Leicester are a team, with a team. They're not a team with players, and it's a very rare thing to see that, because players will come in and out, and I know in the window that it's quite horrific at the moment, to be honest, because I think it's like Manchester United and their transfer window rumours. I think Mahrez has been linked with Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich, Juventus, you name it, he's probably been linked with them because they need to sell stories. And for me, I think they'll stay. I think a lot of the players will stay. I think James Vardinho will stay, because at the end of the day, they're playing Champions League football. You can say, oh, well, they'll move to Barcelona or Real Madrid and get first team football there. I don't think they will. You look at, Mahrez and Vardy, for example. You look at Barcelona's front three. If Mahrez moves there, he is just going to be sitting on the bench every single game, because there is no way he is better than Messi, Suarez or Neymar. And there is no way he's getting in front of any of them. You cannot afford to drop Neymar. Suarez has been in sublime form, and Messi is one of the world's, if not the world's best player. Same with Vardy. Look at Real Madrid. Bale, Benzema and Ronaldo. That front three, you could say, oh, maybe Benzema's not that good sometimes, maybe Bale's not that good sometimes, Ronaldo has off days, but you're not dropping them because they're your best three, and they're one of the, three of the best players in the whole world. So for me, I'm looking at it, all that's going to happen is they'll add to their squad, and whether they add in the right way, it defines their, their next season. And I think they will have I think that the scouts at Leicester City will have a big eye on the Euros, because you can see a lot of talent there, a lot of players performing really well. If they can nick a few of them in, implement them to the team, that'd be fantastic. But their style of play has been the same. People thinking, it's just, counter-attacking with Vardy. You look at the style of play they played without Vardy. They brought Schlupp in and they brought a lower in, and they were a completely different team. They weren't the counter-attacking side. They were a completely different team. Tactics completely changed. And, he got it right again. And credit to Leicester where it's due, because I've been one to constantly say, they'll slip up here, they'll slip up there, and they haven't. And that just shows how good a team they are and how much we need to sort of respect them as a club. And it's the best thing that's happened to English football in quite a while, to add that in. But quickly, as far as Premier League title goes, I'll talk about Spurs. Yes, they did flop the time when they needed to stay on it. A 1-1 draw with West Brom. It's still not mathematically over. I mean, they have to win all three of their last games, and Leicester have to lose all three of their last games, but I cannot see that happening personally. Because even against Everton, I think they'll win that quite comfortably. Because Everton have been poor this season, and I think Martinez will be on his way out. But if you don't win this season, for me, don't worry, Spurs fans, because you've had a fantastic season, you've had rising stars, and you've got a very good spine to the team. You look at, as long as you keep them all there, you've got Lloris, Alderweireld and Vertonghen, and you've got Dier in the centre, you've got Eriksen, you've got Ali, and you've got Kane. That is a spine to behold. You just add a few players here and there, maybe get a better winger to replace Melo. I'm not saying these players are bad, but I think they're the replaceable players. Dembele is a very good player, but maybe someone of a world-class nature to come in. And you've also got the fullbacks as well, who I think have been absolutely solid this season. You've got a team that, for me, and this is a bit bold statement, but I'll say it right now, a team that is going to win the league next season. Despite the fact some teams had a poor season, blah, 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 all that nonsense. Leicester again will look strong, but for me, if Spurs buy the right players and keep hold of their best players in the window, without a shadow of a doubt, they are my favourites to win the league next season. And the minute I can bet on that, I will, and I'll put strong money behind it, because I seriously think Spurs will win the league next season. You look at Man United, they've got so much changing to do, I don't feel like it's a realistic target to win the league. Man City, I don't think we'll see them do it first season. You're going to have a mass overhaul of players, and Guardiola coming in, I think it'll be a huge test for him. He's managed in leagues before where, Barcelona, usually it's one of two teams or one of three teams, and generally you aren't beaten by any other team, unless, of course, you're Barcelona in the last few weeks. And you've managed Bayern Munich. Let's face it, that's a one-team division. Even Guardiola has struggled with this season. So I feel like coming into a league where now you have a big 7 teams, anyone could beat anyone from anywhere you go away to. It shows that you could play home against West Brom and really struggle. And, Man City really struggled, and Tottenham really struggled. So I feel like Spurs are favourites for next season. So don't worry, Leicester win the title, credit it. Because I think no fan can be bitter about Leicester winning the league. It's such a story, and you can say, I was alive when it happened. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed my little ramble on the Premier League title. Remember to stay subscribed. Hopefully you'll enjoy some more of my content, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.